Hello my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here and I'm feeling sassy today, so it's time for a trash or treasure video. Trash or treasure is how I do my disappointing products videos. I tell you about the things that I don't like and why they didn't work for me, and then I offer you a similar alternative that I do enjoy. I try my best to stay in the same sort of price range, and I'm sure you've seen enough videos like this to know I'm not hating on the companies that made these products that I don't like. In a lot of cases, they've made other things that I really do like. This also is not a personal attack on you. If you really love any of these products, then I'm so happy you enjoy them. And also, how does it feel to be a wizard? Because you have to be magical to make this junk work. Just kidding, kind of. Like I said, I'm feeling sassy today. So today's trash or treasure is going to be about 3 palettes that I really don't like. I try not to say that I hate things, but if I was gonna hate things, then I would hate this palette. So, all 3 palettes that I'm talking about today are from Maybelline, and I am sorry Maybelline, but also you owe me an apology because I spent my money on this and this formula is garbage. So sorry. They're never gonna see this, so it doesn't matter. You're probably wondering why I continued to purchase Maybelline palettes when so many of them have been disappointing, and it's because I love the City Mini palettes. I've talked about the Maybelline City Mini palettes before. The formula is so good. I've really enjoyed the 3 that I've purchased. They work so well, they look great, they're so affordable, and I keep hoping that the larger Maybelline palettes are gonna be like that, and then they keep not being like that. So let's talk about this one. This is the 24 Karat Nudes palette, and this was in the Bestie bundle that Katie and Desi came out with Maybelline. Why did they put this in there? The other products that were in that bundle were so good, and I totally see why they would choose those, but this palette does not work. I was so frustrated trying to make this work. Pretty much all of the shades are terrible. They swatch terribly, they apply terribly. I'm so glad that I'm making this video now so that I can get rid of this palette. I don't even think I would give this away because it would just be mean. Desi, Katie, still love you, but this is a huge no from me. Don't worry, I have an alternative for you that doesn't suck. This is the Fame palette from ColourPop. This has tons of nude shades in it. You're still getting your little pop of deep purple, still getting a nice shiny gold. This palette is actually nudes, and bonus, it performs wonderfully. It swatches great, it performs great on the eyelid. You can get pigment from it, so that's something. I'm gonna show you some swatches of these palettes just so that you can see why I recommend one and not the other. Take a look at the swatches, you be the judge. I was so hopeful for this palette. This got a lot of hype on Instagram. It released in other countries before it came out in the US, and so many people were saying, the burgundy bar is so much like the City Minis, and this palette's so awesome. Okay, this one's better than the 24 Karat Nudes, but it's still not good. It's still going in the trash side of the trash or treasure video. Yes, the formula in this one is better, but here's the thing. There's 1 burgundy in the burgundy bar, and there's only 2 matte shades. So this palette is basically like, hey, do you want a nude shimmery eye that sometimes has a little bit of red in it? And you know what? Yes, I do want that. This just was such a letdown for me. I was hopeful because I did like it a lot more than the 24 Karat Nudes palette, but this still is nowhere near the quality and performance of the City Minis. It's not even entirely your fault. The people of Instagram just made you out to be something that you're not. So instead of this burgundy bar, we should start saying that quote, burgundy bar palette, I would recommend that you pick up one of these palettes from ColourPop. Yes, all of the treasure palettes are going to be from ColourPop. I love ColourPop palettes. I think they are amazing quality. They're affordable. I don't see why you should buy a less expensive palette from a drugstore brand and just say, oh, well, you know, it's a cheap palette. So no, ColourPop will deliver on the pigmentation, on the performance. Skip the burgundy bar, get one of these. The Give It To Me Straight palette is gonna give you a burgundy in the shade TMI. This is a matte. And there's also a couple of kind of reddish shimmers that can really create a burgundy look. Plus you're getting that dark purple eggplant shimmer, just like the burgundy bar has. You have a lot more choice in matte shades here. You're still gonna be able to get that nude shimmer bronzy eye from this, but there's a lot more versatility in these shades. There's a lot more variation in these shades. I don't know if this palette is still available from ColourPop or not. This is the Pretty Much palette. This is a 6-pan palette. You're really getting the color story that I wanted the burgundy bar to have in 6 shades. Still manages to have more mattes than the burgundy bar. Still manages to have the same amount of burgundies as the burgundy bar. We're still getting those shimmers. This one goes a little bit more cool toned, which I think is more interesting. Again, I'm going to show you some swatch comparisons here just so that you can get a feeling for why I would recommend some of these over others. That's that on the burgundy bar. I wanted to like it, but it just really missing a couple pieces for me, and I think that you're better off with the ColourPop. Actually, most of the ColourPop pressed powder palettes would do well for this. They do tend to go towards a lot of nudes and like reddish browns, so kind of just throw a dart at the ColourPop site and you can find something that will work. Last but not least, the biggest letdown. This is the Lemonade Craze palette, the much hyped, much anticipated Lemonade Craze palette. And let's just have a moment of silence for my hopes and dreams for Maybelline, because this was like the final nail in the coffin for me. They have a new one in this format, the Soda Pop or some junk like that. Kind of looks like a ripoff of the Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I wanted to be excited for this, and yet again I naively believed that this would be like the City Mini palettes, and the formula of this palette is so bad that I get like choked up thinking about the fact that I accidentally ordered 2 of these when I ordered this. I did the pre-order on Amazon and I was like, I know this is gonna be good, and I was wrong. I'm strong enough to admit that I was wrong. There are some people who really love this palette. I know you're out there. You might be watching this video just like plotting against me right now. The formula on this is just so disappointing. There's one yellow shade. Why? It's a Lemonade palette. I'm not mad at the fact that there are neutrals in here. I think that's really smart, but it just, everything about it misses the mark. Like, it's not quite colorful and exciting enough for me. The formula is just really doesn't work for me. Some of the shades are kind of okay. Some are just awful. I had high hopes for this, but I was wrong. On a lighter note, the ColourPop Yes Please palette is what I wanted the Lemonade palette to be. This palette has more yellows than the Lemonade palette does. Kind of like the burgundy bar having one burgundy, Lemonade palette having one yellow. Anyway, this palette is the first that ColourPop released. It has a great mix of more bold, exciting shades that are grounded by some really kind of everyday neutral shades. This looks so good on the eyes. You can get so many different looks out of this. Every single shade is going to perform well for you. I've been a fan of this since it came out and it just never disappoints me. If you thought that this was kind of exciting for you, then just save yourself the grief. Learn from my mistakes. Get the ColourPop Yes Please instead. Like I said, if you love any of these products that I really dislike, or vice versa, if you hate some of the things that I love and that work really well for me, that's part of the beauty of makeup. It works differently for all of us. We all have different preferences. I'd love to hear your ideas about what would be great alternatives for these palettes, or even if you really love these, leave a comment, let us know. I always love hearing what you guys think. I always love the discussions that happen in the comments. So thanks for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Goodbye forever. This just... More sassy, still can't talk. All the trash... No. That was a lot of negativity. Have you ever heard that phrase, like, a bad day fishing is better than a good day at work? A bad day with the Yes Please palette is better than a good day with the Lemonade Grace palette. I don't get that ranty in videos that often, but it's kind of fun. I should do it more. Okay. I'm gonna go meditate after I throw all these palettes in the garbage. All right. Okay, bye. Bye.